Make sure everybody can see, and we are in there. All right. Smite 2 Open Beta 2 update notes. Sure, we gotta. Can we just start labeling these sequentially? Like, what about just like 17, 18, 19, 20, you know? Something like that. New skins is oh, love an Afro skin. Kepri Living Brain. Wait, excuse me? Kepri Living Brain. I'm kind of scared for what I'm about to see, I'm not gonna lie. Yo, what the hell is that? Dude, that's actually cursed. This is actually cursed. Go ahead and buy that, though. Yep, Living Brain. I'm brained up. No problem. General changes. Add new... Oh, they added colorblind modes. That's really good. Added contrast and color correction strength to help colorblind players. W. That's huge. Nice. That's really nice. Added dual picks and bans as a custom lobby mode. Nice. Text chat at the end of the match lobby. Holy crap. Dude, I love being able to type to people, especially when I'm playing duel. I need this. Added zoom in, zoom out functionality when in game on PC. Currently bound to the mouse wheel up and down with the added ability to change in keybind settings. Added pin in functionality on the god page to save favorite gods to load at the top of the list. Oh, that's cool. That's pretty cool. Conquest. Okay, these are really big changes, by the way. I don't know if you guys saw these or if people have paid attention a ton to them. Purple buff and Fire Giant now only giving you strength or int, depending on which is higher, is like such a huge nerf to these buffs. Okay, especially purple. The reason purple is so broken at the start of the game is because it gives you both and you stack it so quickly, hitting like creeps or hitting gods or whatever. And hitting, like, if you're an ADC and you have strength, you're gaining auto attack damage, and the int is also giving you auto attack damage, but then they're also both giving you scaling, depending on which type you have. Like, it just makes your auto attacks absolutely slam. It's like, it's been the best buff in the game since I've been playing Smite 2. So I think this is a pretty clever nerf, and I like it. I actually don't like it being applied to fire. And the reason why is because I feel like this is a really cool perk that hybrid scaling characters have. And I think for hybrid scaling characters, there's not a lot of items that are dedicated to making them have hybrid scaling like on its own, right? Like, there's not a ton of strength and int items. There's like conch, and that's kind of like a tank item as well. Like, there's really not a lot of like just pure, like Broggy's harp is another one, but that's kind of auto attack only. Like, it's very limited in its sample size, so I feel like it's kind of cool to be a hybrid scaling character and then get to the late game and then get fire and to like really benefit from it. Like, I think it's okay if some characters are stronger with fire than others. But yeah, it's like death metal, conch, braggies. Two of those are auto attack items. Yeah, maybe that'll change over time. There'll be better like hybrid options. But for now, I felt like fire was a really big buff for those characters. A layout update, increase the height of some islands to block long lines of sight into other jungle. I'd have to see which ones they did. I actually don't know these off the top of my head. Added more length to some islands to block long lines of sight. Okay, same thing. Jungle update, increased. Okay, these are the teleporter harpies. Increased respawn from 80 to 120, so 2 minutes. Reduced side elder harpy base gold from 17 to 10. Small harpy base gold from 3 to 2. Reduced overall camp scaling from +3 every 3 to 1.5 every 3. Okay. This is a really big deal, mainly because on the current patch, losing duo lane, it wasn't actually that big of a deal. And the reason is because normally it would be each team starts purple. You go to lane, shove the first wave. Team who won wave 1 normally gets to shove wave 2 earlier. And when they clear wave 2, they go to the neutral buff camp. And when they go to the neutral buff camp, you go do your own teleporter harpies. So you both kind of get XP at the same time. And then when they go to shove the next wave to do their own camps, you can actually hold that wave and zone them from some of the creeps from the next wave while they have to spend all their time running there and back. And then you're actually not that far behind from being the lower pressure duo lane. But now that this is going to be significantly less XP and gold, you actually should still feel the impact of having a losing duo lane. And I think it should feel like ADCs and solo laners aren't getting as much farm as they have been. Those roles get so farmed off just one-shotting these camps every couple of minutes So yeah, I think this change was necessary. These things just gave way too much. Obsidian Dagger now always dealing 500 damage. It was being affected by things like damage mitigation. So for example, if my backliner had Obsidian Dagger and they wanted to use it to res and I kept retued them, their dagger would hit them for like 350 and then troll them and then they would die because it doesn't actually do the full 500. Joust and Duel, updated tower portraits, fixed being able to channel the teleport while moving. This is nice. I thought that was a little clunky or a little weird. Adjusted collision around the blue camp to prevent some abilities such as Hercules Boulder and Dansbury and Moneybags from getting stuck outside of the playable area. Interesting. I didn't know that could happen with Herc Boulder. I know sometimes where I can't throw it where I want, but I didn't know it could actually just get stuck. Increased stealth zone area from entire width of the pathway. Oh, there's like a little area. Okay, I know what it's talking about. There's a little area between the lane and the purple camp where there's like a little arc, and you're visible there, and I guess they just added grass there as well. Purple camp pushed the initial spawn timer back from 20 to 25. Lost Knight has a maximum level of 25. It will stop scaling, increase base prots, and then a bunch of Joust scaling. So it just made it tankier in both game modes. Just make it tankier. Decrease the penetration you get from 20 to 15. This is a crazy good buff, by the way. I played a good bit of Duel the last couple days. And getting this thing is just like game winning. It's actually so broken. Titan, decreased base physical power from 250 to 225. Who cares? Phoenix, they're firing faster than intended. Sure, who cares? Assault, guys, I kind of want to drop a who cares on the entire Assault tab here. I'm not going to lie. They just recategorize the healers. Made sure you can only have one on a team. Updated the Tower and Titan portraits. Okay, we're out of there. Rank Conquest, Trio Q matchmaking update. Impose a hard limit on the SR range in a match that expands over time. The longer a player waits, the wider the range possible. Okay. Trio Q is healthy for the top end of ranked and brings many new ranked players, but under the standard set of ranked matchmaking rules create undesirable outcomes, especially with top ranked players. What are we doing about that? Moving forward, we'll treat solo and duo queues at standard rank, trio queue, and under its own set of rules. Party of threes will be evaluated based on the maximum SR as opposed to average SR with duos. Okay. Be hard limited to matches with a range of 1,000, capping at 5,000. So you just might be waiting way longer. So your SR is going to be affected by the maximum rather than the average. So you probably will gain and lose less SR. So it won't be as good for climbing ranked. You're going to have longer queues, and you won't be able to queue into just duo queue with solo queuers. It'll have to be another trio queue on the other team. So it'll just take longer to get in match. But you still get to play with whoever you want. That's cool. That's fine. Skill rating, post-match adjustments, just fixing a bug. Skill rating adjustment now factors quality of opposition much more heavily. That's good. That's really good, actually. Regional update, sure. Backfill, disabled, and ranked. Oh, this would cause lobbies to like get stuck or whatever, right? Oh, no, I see. It was backfilling so lobbies wouldn't get stuck, but then it would put someone into the game that maybe shouldn't be in the game, and it would unbalance the teams, and now they're disabling that in ranked only. So you just might have longer queues if somebody can't connect. That's fine. Matchmaking, team balancing update. Discrepancies with how teams are balanced was uncovered, and the first potential fix is being implemented, but will work. Is this a statement of nothing's happened yet, but we see what's happening? Incoming fix. Okay. So this is basically, hey, something's wrong. We know what's wrong. We're working on a fix, but it's not here yet. Okay. Practice. Replace the mirror bot with a target dummy totem. Target dummy has 0 base prots. Yep. Practice menu. Different god bots can be... Okay, this, I love this so much that I can test stuff on different god bots and different base protections and all of that, and I can customize it way more. Practice in Smite 2 is so much better than Smite 1. It's insane with how much you can test and how quickly you can test it. I love it. New gods. Vulcan. Okay, this character is broken, by the way. So basically, new features, more projectile speed on his backfire. He gets this thing where at different levels, so levels 1, 7, and 14, there's 3 mods he can buy in the shop. At level 1, the mods are your turret alternates with Thumper. So it'll be normal cannon into Thumper, into normal cannon, into Thumper. They share the same cooldown. They have the same base health. They just do different things, different damage, whatever. Another mod is that it puts Thumper in your consumable slot. So it'll be, you basically have 5 abilities, but you lose a consumable slot. And then the last one is that your passive gives you CDR when you hit an enemy. Instead of just giving you movement speed, it'll give you movement speed and CDR. So yeah, that's just one example of the first set, but all of these are so broken. Yeah, I just read you the first one. Second one, Thumper gets 150 HP and applies an attack speed debuff. Or you can get a dot on your Inferno Cannon, does a little bit more damage. It gets scaled as well. Or Backfire Magma Bomb, deal more damage and have more scaling. I think the first and the third one are the two best, like just getting scaling on Backfire Magma Bomb. Or if you want to play like a Bruiser tank build, you probably go the Resonator mob. And then the last set that you get at level 14 is Thumper gets 300 HP and applies a 50 physical and magical protection buff to allied gods hit. So if they just stand in the area, this is so broken, by the way. Surplus mod, you can have 2 Inferno cannons deployed at the same time. This does not work. It doesn't give you a second charge, so you can't just slam both instantly. You have to wait for the cooldown. But what you can do is you can buy Staff of Mirrodin if you're playing like a full damage Vulcan. And you can pop your Mirrodin and then place double cannons and like burn Fire Giant, for example. Just absolutely slam it. The last one is Seismic. Earthshaker, your alt trembles, enemies hit for 2 seconds. I think this one's the weakest, but it's still pretty good. Like it's a powerful effect. I just think the other ones are like broken, basically. Hit summary, range basic tasks. It's just all the same Vulcan stuff, you know. I don't think there's anything that looked too different. I guess the turrets having penetration, it gets your penetration and has base 25%. Base 25% pen on turrets is insane, by the way. It looked like Magma Bomb dealt with things the same way to me, like momentum on knockups and stuff like that. And then they give a little kit release on Hunbots. I'll maybe go over him next week when they actually add him, I think. Go over aspects for now. Vulcan, his passive gains be near one of your turrets. Oh, this is aspect. Be near one of your turrets grants you and the turret increased prots and health regeneration. I don't know what the health regeneration stat is. The prots are 10 plus 2 per level. So at level 1, it gives you and the turret 12 of each prot, and at level 20, it gives you both 50 prots. Really, really good, actually. Like, really broken. So that means if you are Aspect Vulcan, and then you go the mod that gives protections in an area around Thumper. Where is it? Can I scroll past it? This one? You can get 100 prots when you're near your Thumper. You just get 100 prots. That's actually so insane. Sobek aspect, charge prey now passes through all targets and knocks them forward. Sickening strikes cooldown reduction now additionally triggers off jungle monsters, but healing is halved. I don't know why you would want to use this, because I feel like Pluck is like the Sobek ability. It's like the reason to play it. And I don't know if this makes us like a Bake Kujira dash sort of thing or what. That's what I've heard it be compared to. But yeah, I feel like Pluck's kind of OP. Maybe people will play this on like solo Sobek. It depends what the CC looks like. Maybe it's better than I'm giving it credit for. But yeah, I feel like Pluck is so broken that I'm not sure why you would want to do this. Ares aspect of reverberation. Call to arms, that's his 2. No longer grants protections or affects allies. Instead, Ares empowers his shield for his next basic attack, stunning the target or spreading damage to nearby allies. 50% of your empowered shield hits, stun duration 0.75. So you would only do this if you want to do like jungle Ares with like Hydras or something, which is actually not that bad. I'm pretty sure you get a Hydras proc in between each chain. So damage-wise, you would actually slam people. But I don't know how reliable the stun is. This seems underwhelming to me. But I bet there's a build or there's some sort of like roll out there that could use this and it'll be really broken. Because you'll just do extra damage and then you stun to set up for your chains, then you just slam people even more. So I bet you this is slept on. If I had to guess, this is actually pretty good. Items, new starter, Gilded Arrow. Oh, they are actually putting in Gilded Arrow into the game. Okay. Let's see the upgrade, because the upgrade's normally what's broken. 60 basic attack power, attack speed, lifesteal, crit. Okay. All sources of gold gain are increased by 5%. Okay, so this is broken. Yeah, so this is broken. Basic attack damage increased by 20% when hitting a target over 7.5 away, so near max range. Yeah, this is like super broken, by the way. Like insanely broken. This is just like a Jingwei item only pretty much right now. But when they add characters like Hachiman or X-Ball that have longer basic attack range that can go this, that's going to be broken. It'll be broken on Rama. Yeah, this thing's got to be OP. Yeah, that's got to be broken. Ooh, balance. Stampede nerf. Decrease the physical procs and the active buff duration from 6 to 4. Okay, remove the attack speed buff. This is good. This is really smart. This should have been removed. It just doesn't need to be on this item. It just did too much. The active buff duration is in some ways a buff depending on how they make the movement speed scale. Because you're getting 60% movement speed down to 20%, I believe. So if they didn't scale back how quickly that decreases, then you're actually just staying at a higher movement speed the entire time, and it's not really that big of a deal. And then decreasing procs by 10 is actually quite big. I think it puts it more in line with other items. Still has a ton of regen, still really good. Screech and Gargoyle, decrease cooldown from 20 to 15, decrease active protection debuff from 20 to 10. Cooldown, I think, doesn't matter at all, pretty much. The prot shred matters a ton. This item was so broken. Like, having an item that was magic prot, that was like a luxury statted magic prot value, like 60 magic prot, that also gave cooldown, that also CC'd somebody, that also gave you 20% pen if you were even using it selfishly. Like, it was so broken. So insanely broken. I think this nerf is good. I don't know if it needs to get nerfed much more from this. If it does, I would nerf the price. If people are still buying this too much, I would just nerf the price. Tekakagi nerf. Decrease passive movement speed from 3 to 2. They did the same on Gem of Focus. That's good. It's less movement speed. In conjunction, these two are really, really powerful together if you were like a chalk, something like that. Soul Gem nerf. Decrease int from 75 to 65. Basically meta mage item nerfs. Kids Blade nerf. Decrease passive health from 3.5 to 3%. If the target has more... Okay, they reworked this Kin's passive, and I'm a little pissed about it, because what it used to say was it would deal additional damage based on the difference in max health between you and the person you were hitting, which means it would go both ways. It would actually go both ways. If I was a tank and I was hitting a carry, I should do additional damage based on me having more health than them. They've since changed it to make sure that is not the case. And it didn't work that way before. I just hoped it worked that way. That's kind of what I was hoping for. World Stone buff. Adjust the recipe from Ring of Dispel Oracle Staff to Oracle. This is a cooldown ring. Oh, remove cooldown rate. Ha, nice genius. Way to figure that out on your own. Fucking idiot. Increased mana from 150 to 350. Increased mana regen. Increased passive ultimate cooldown reduction from 20 to 30. Okay. This makes the item way worse. All of this makes the item worse. Unless you're building Book of Thoth with it. But even then, I think this just makes the item worse. This part might make it good. Worldstone has always had the problem of if you just wanted cooldown, it was more likely that you were just better off buying something like Chronos Pennant. Because Worldstone as an item, stat-wise, doesn't really increase your damage that much. It doesn't have that much int or like pen or anything like that. So if you were only buying it from cooldown, the difference between Worldstone and Chronos Pennant was like maybe, depend on the character and depend on the build, but on average, I would say it was around like 4 to 7 seconds difference on your alt cooldown. But when you factor in that Chronos Pennant would have way better cooldown reduction on your other 3 abilities, I don't think it made sense to go Worldstone. Maybe this is different now, and this would be more suitable on characters that really, really have long alt cooldowns. So like maybe Emoja or Morgan or something like that. It'd be interesting to see if it fits in those builds a little bit more. I'd have to test this, but could definitely see if it's good or not. Chronos Pennant buff. Okay, so you're just going to see mages go Pennant now, basically, right? More often, instead of like Soul Gem and stuff like that. Just a chance they build this first item. The spam cooldowns on you, especially like a Vulcan. Bloodbound Book, decrease cost from 2550 to 2450, increase intelligence. This item's really good, by the way. This item's really, really good. Maybe this becomes Soul Gem replacement. I'm a really big fan of carry active items. I love that stuff. I love carries having the ability to have active items that give them survivability outside of just like Aegis and beads and just being able to completely immune effects. I feel like having skill expression via like timing your shields and using them properly, I think that's pretty cool. Dagger Frenzy buff, increased strength from 40 to 50, increased active damage per level from 2 to 3. I'd have to test this again too. I really like this item. Same thing. I just like carry active items. Dagger Frenzy was like broken when I had first started playing Smite 2 a good bit, like September-ish of last year. And it got nerfed and hasn't really been that good since, but I'm a big fan of that item. Yes! Yes, okay, I knew it. I knew this stuff. Okay. Height of the Nemean line buff, adjusted damage reflect to be pre-mit instead of post-mit. Okay. This thing did no damage before. It was actually so useless. The reason, like, okay, think about Kuzenbo in Smite 1. The reason he's so annoying is because he would deal pre-mit damage reflect to you while being full tank. So you're just absolutely killing yourself in-game on him. And there's nothing you can do about it except run away from him. You just can't win the 1v1. Nemean was doing the opposite. Because it was doing post-mit, it was taking the damage, applying all of your defenses to it, and then reflecting it back to them. So an auto attack from a hunter that was hitting me for like 400, I would deal like 17 damage to them. It's useless. Who cares? But now this item might be really good. I'm actually going to go a step further. This item might be broken because the reflect, if I remember correctly, is like, it's 25 or 30% on the active. It's something like that. I think it's 30. And I don't remember the cooldown, but the stats on this item are really, really insane. I wouldn't be surprised if you could play like Hercules and go like Height of the Nemean and just run at their hunter and just absolutely slam them. I'm pretty sure this item's good if it's working as intended. Avenging Blade buff, decrease cooldown cost from 2600 to 2400. I like the idea of this item. I don't see people buy it enough. I wonder if they just don't have the right characters in the game yet for it. Like, I could imagine like an Osiris or an Erlong or something like that really using this item and slamming people with it. Maybe people will try it more. I could see it working on like a Nem, but the problem with Nem is there's so much slow immunity in the game. Warrior's X buff, decrease the passive cooldown from 10 to 8. Same thing on the upgrade. Okay. Warrior Flag buff, decrease max stacks from 10 to 6. Oh, this is a huge change. Holy crap, that's a huge change. Okay. So it went from 2.5 to 3. So you get more movement speed and it's less stacks. Same thing here. Right? Actually, is this a better ratio? That's 5. No, it's just better. It's way better. Wow. Okay. That's a really big buff for War Flag because not only are you stacking this off the wave, you're also stacking it full off of a teleporter camp. It's a really big deal. It might not be the craziest thing ever for like fighting in the lane. You'll feel the attack speed and stuff for sure. But the main thing that War Flag does that I think is really valuable is it gets you from farm to farm way quicker. So if I have War Flag and I win the lane pressure and they don't have War Flag, the chance that they can walk to contest me on the camp that me and my ADC are doing after clearing the wave is so much less likely because we're just there faster. We're there faster, we're clearing it faster. And it kind of has like a snowball effect within the lane itself, if that makes sense. Like, I clear purple faster, and then I walk to the lane faster, and then I clear that wave faster, and now I keep pressure, and then I clear the next wave, and now I get to go to the buff faster, you know, and then I like clear the next wave, and then, you know, you just keep going back and forth, and being more efficient with that just really like adds up. War Banner buff, decrease max stacks from 10 to 6, same thing. I'd assume these ratios are about the same. This one looks like a little lower. That's a lot of movement speed, man. That's a lot of movement speed. Okay, try Warbanner more, fellas. Try Warbanner more. I guess at the base, this is about the same. It's like, what, 1.5% extra? Something like that? Off the top of my head, I'm not doing the math. Aerospo, decrease the active cooldown from... The mark is now indefinite until a new mark is selected or the marked ally is further. Okay. So this item's broken. And you should buy it. And I'm thinking of what supports you could build it on other than like Bologna. Maybe Morrigan? Yo, this is like really broken. So if you don't know what Aerospo does, is you mark an ally and then when you hit things, it heals them. So, and it works on creeps too. If I hit creeps, it heals them. So now this is a permanent thing, not a mark that I have to constantly manage and like mark, hit, you know, over and over. I'm just constantly slamming people. Yeah, like Cupid support would work. Yeah, this thing's broken, I'm pretty sure. This is going to do a ton of healing throughout a game. I kind of can't believe they did this, but I'm down. Shifter shield shift. Whoa. That messed with me. Now grants either 40 strength or 55, up from 40 intelligence, depending on what's that. I'm a hater of this item in general. I always have been. I don't know if it's good or not. I just don't like it. Personally. That's just a me thing. Bumba's Golden Dagger description update. Changed AoE mention from non-minion to jungle monsters. Okay, cool. It just makes the tooltip cleaner. Like more intuitive. Sure. Uller nerf decrees the movement speed from his 2... 25 to 20, 15 to 10. Okay, just 5% at all ranks. Increase the cooldown of his 3. Decrease strength. I would like to see his slow or his prot shred get nerfed. I think that's really broken on his 3. But it's also his +1, so I can understand them nerfing other things of the character first. I think that makes sense to me. Medusa nerf, Viper shot, decrease damage. Okay, this ability, by the way, did 240 base damage if you hit all 3 autos at level 1, or 4 autos, whatever it is, at level 1. 240 base damage level 1, it was like by far the best ability in the game. It was so broken. So very, very deserving of a nerf, but keeping the power late game, I think, is completely fine. Honestly, I would have been totally fine if this stayed at 35 here as well. I don't know if Medusa has a really high win rate or if she's frustrating. I mostly just think the level 1 and 2 were egregious. But I'd be okay if this stayed at the same max rank, like the attacks we did. I think that's a good change. Jingwei nerf, persistent gust, decrease the damage from 80 to 280 to 70 to 270, 13 to 11 to 13 at all ranks. It's good. Small nerf, but it's good. Thanatos nerf is aspect, decrease the bonus damage scaling from 5% to 3.5. That's good. Bonus heal scaling from 1% max health to 0.75. Okay, sure. Tunes it a little bit. This aspect is still so broken. You get so much health from it. I actually think they should reduce the amount of health that you're getting. The Kate nerf, triplicate form, decrease bonus damage. This is like what helps her shred objectives so much. If you use triplicate form and then it uses the blue stance and then it hits an objective and then you hit an objective with a bunch of tick damage like Kepri 2, Medusa 1, things like that. It just ticks for this damage over and over and over and over, and it just one-shots things. Spell Eater, decreased damage scaling from 50% to 40%, increased cooldown from 8 to 9. Okay, she's still good. Aladdin nerf, oh, that's going to be a long one. Decreased dash damage scaling from 65 to 10% here. Punch damage is 5% strength, but no int difference. So it's 10 base. So the genie is 10 base and 5% strength decrease. And the dash itself is just 10% of each scaling decrease. Okay. His 3, decrease the lending damage from 45, 5% on both these scaling. And then the genie is 10% strength and 5% in. Okay, so it must be the strength build is overperforming. Decreased max leap range. That's a really big deal. He actually covered so much ground so quickly. Into the Lamp, decreased non-combatant, increased damage from combatants from 25 to 12.5. Non-combatant increased damage. Oh, I see. So if other people came in, they were just getting blown up and they decreased that a little bit. Okay, sure. Aphrodite Kiss, decreased movement speed from 6 to 10 to 6 to 8. Decreased shared protections from 10 to 8. Well, that's messed up. No bias. Raw Shift, decreased solar ray damage to... Okay. That hurts his aspect a lot too. His like pressure and soul lane. Side buff is a revert. Damage on his 1. Whirlpool is a revert. Damage there. Kraken, increased inner ring scaling. Okay, cool. So basically, he was really broken before. He's not as broken now. His 2 got absolutely butchered cooldown-wise, and they're just buffing the other abilities without buffing the 2. That makes sense to me. Fox Bellyflop decrease cooldown by 1. Decrease cooldown on the Belch as well. Does that matter? Second at all ranks. Pretty significant, actually. Bacchus isn't bad. Especially with Gargoyle getting nerfed. If he plays against less Gargoyles, he's happy. Soul buff, I Yeah, I love this character. Yep. Radiance, increased damage from 35 to 135, 45 to 145. Quote, and so you just are going to have more uptime on your heat. That's the biggest thing there. Fix an issue where this ability would consume poly when thrown. Oh, okay. Supernova, reduce subsequent hit reduction from 70 to 35, then 70 for further. So first hit equals 0% reduction, second hit equals 35, other hits equals 70. Okay, so her ult should deal more damage if you place it on top of them and hit multiple things. Sure. Neath, Spirit Arrow, increased damage scaling. Damage scaling. Added a... oh, the slow is back on the backflip, baby. Neath support is back. Clap it up, ladies and gentlemen. We are so excited to have Neath support back. Prime times, Smite primes coming towards you. Neath support every single game. We are so back. It's unbelievable. The Aerospo Neath, whatever we got to do, we're going to do it. Danzaburo buff. That's an issue where his clone was not getting any stats from him when dealing basic act damage. As a result, the ability has gone under a significant rebalance pass. In general, this ability should feel similar at low amounts of strength and intelligence while being a bit stronger than it currently is at high amounts. It now deals 10 plus 1 per level damage. Non-talent equals 10% basic attack damage. Talent equals 17.5% basic attack damage at full rank. On his 2, decrease the cooldown. This also will apply to the aspect, I believe. And Tanuki Trickery, increased damage from 10 to 50 to 20 to 60. Fixed an issue with this was always using rank 1 damage. Oh, that's a pretty big deal too. I got some love to Danza. Kabraken's getting buffed. Okay, guys, I know people keep saying this character's bad. He must have a bad win rate if he's getting buffed. I understand it. I'm telling you this character is broken. There's no chance this character is not broken. He is so broken. It's unreal. The amount of CC this character has. If you are playing Kabraken, okay, and you are using your kit properly to CC people, and you're not getting kills off of it, Kabraken isn't bad, your team is. Just type team gap, go next, throw up the F6 vote. That's all you have to do. I'm telling you the character's busted. He's gotta be busted. He has way too much CC to not be killing people. Shadow Zone increased damage mitigation from 3 to 4%. Refraction Shield increased damage from 65 to 2. This is huge. This is huge, bro. This is 600 damage if you double 2 people. 80 damage rank 1. Finally a good ability. Wait, no other one. This one? Oh, I got them mixed up. No, Refraction's the one, right? Because they wouldn't put it out of order, would they? I mean, either way, it's the same thing. 80 damage rank 1 is good. Yeah. I'm going to assume this one's the 2. Seismic Crush, I think, is the 2. That's 260. No, wait. No, Refraction Shield is definitely the name of his 2. I'm not crazy, am I? I swear it's the name of his 2. Where is this guy? I've been playing this game wrong. Refraction Shield, I knew I was right. I actually knew it. So it is out of order. Okay. No problem. This god's broken. I promise you guys this god's broken. I'll upload a guide. You'll figure it out. Susano buff, Stormkata increased damage from... I can't be reading all these numbers, guys. I'm way too drunk for this. It's actually 2 p.m. and I haven't drank a single bit of alcohol, but still. 40 to 140, 50 to 150, 10 base damage, 5% scaling, and then another 10 base damage with another 5% scaling. So that's 20 and 10. The 20 and 10 with a 2-second cooldown up front. Yep, that's OP. Increased damage per tick, 10 to 30 plus 10 to 15 to 35. This ticks 6 times, I think, so that's 30 damage with a an additional 12% scaling. Right? Is that right? 10 damage? No, 5 times. It's 5 ticks. I thought it was 6. Okay. Wait. Are we sure? Wait. Oh, it's Typhoon. It's not his 3. Oh, I'm tripping. Okay. My fault. Honestly, I think they should increase the knockup height. I don't know what other people think about this. I think Typhoon should get a higher knockup. I think it's just too low in Smite 2. I think at the time that he was released, it needed to be low because he was one of the few characters in the game and he was way more mobile than everybody else and he could just do ridiculous stuff. But I kind of think he should get some knockup height back. It feels a little underwhelming to me. Nemesis buff, decreased cooldown from 13 to 11 on Swift Vengeance. That's a really low cooldown. That's insane. That's actually insane. For an ability that you don't want to put points into, getting cooldown reduction is really good. Like some abilities, when they get these like little cooldown adjustments, but it's the ability you max first anyways, you're really only buffing them from like levels 3 to 8. And then once they're level 9 and they have 5 points in the ability, it doesn't matter. But when it's something like this is the last ability she puts points into, you basically are getting 2 seconds off the cooldown the entire game. It's a huge deal. Slice and Dice increase damage from 60 to 180 to 70 to 190. Center damage from 90 to 330 to 100 to 340. Okay. Some bug fixes. Character target highlighting. I can't even go through all these. There's so many bugs. So many bugs they're fixing. Let's just call this a day. What do you guys think about that? Let's just call this a day. Another W patch, I'd like to say. An absolute W patch. I'm just going to trust them that they've done great work here on these bug fixes. I'm happy for them. I'm happy for us. It's a W patch. Only thing I'd like to see going forward, not the only thing I'd like to see, but some things I'd like to see going forward. Something reminded me of it. It was item-wise, maybe. Maybe it was characters. Ooh, I really don't remember now. And now I'm sad. See if I can jog my memory. If not, we're out of here. See if I can jog my memory. Nope, we're out of here. All right.